this lifetime opportunity. So here are all of my friends trying to say thank you. And yeah, this is just something that I always think when I'm in the field, and it is basically to show you what is my main motivation, that we need to keep moving forward, no matter what, no matter if it seems like we are not doing or changing something, we still need to keep moving and to try to work for a better world and a better future. So from my grandma and myself, I really want to thank you, and thank you for your time. Do you have any questions?
How come you have Totoro?
There we go. Oh, that was really terrific, Maria. I think there are some questions in the chat room.
Yeah, I didn't notice. Great frog on AAUW logo. Yeah, I wanted to give my touch. Oh, thank you so much, Edith. Nematode. Wow, I've never heard about someone saying nematode. Usually people say worms or caterpillars, but nematode is a very new one. Interesting. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Rebecca.
I have a question for you, Maria. Is there still the problem with the American companies? When I was in Coca and in the Amazon, outside of Coca, they were very concerned because Chevron was, trying to build and get land there and destroying the environment quite a bit. Is that still going on, or has that been controlled better by the government?
No, it is still going on. And unfortunately, we have more companies, and not only American, but also Canadian and Chinese companies that are trying to mine very beautiful, diverse areas. And we are still actually trying to get Chevron to pay for what they did against indigenous communities. And that trial is still going on.
Oh my gosh.
Good question. Do some of these frogs, those beautiful frogs, do sometimes they disappear for a few years and then come back, like I've noticed around here, and why is that?
That is a super good question. Thank you for asking. And yes, that is true. There are some frog species that were thought or that were considered extinct for like 50 years or so. And I think that on one hand, that might be the result of us not putting enough effort on understanding the population dynamics that these frogs have. But in other cases, it might be also the result of a species going through very like difficult circumstances, like a specific decrease on the population because of an illness or because of the reduction of their habitat. And then we can see them, or we can find them after a couple of years, once they have recovered from these very, very, I don't know how to say it, like harsh experiences for the frogs. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Are there any more questions? Okay.
Arlene has a question. And how did you hear about AUW to apply for help from us?
I Google it because Yeah, because as international students, we cannot apply to NSF grants, and we are denied from grants that are specifically for American people. So I was trying to look for other options that might help me overcome my financial issues associated to grad school. Yeah.
I have a question. What sort of fees does the fellowship cover? Does it cover tuition, housing, or is it a lump sum you use as you wish? How is the grant?
Yeah, so it covers, for me, it covered living expenses. So I didn't have to teach for my first semester. And with that, I also could apply for a fellowship of the university, so they covered my fees and they covered my tuition. And without AUW support, I more likely wouldn't be able to enroll for last semester because I was not able to work. So with the AAUW, I was able to show them that I had a way to support myself. And that's how I started my PhD, even remotely.
That's great.
Maria, I have a question about the waterfall, the dam that had eroded.
Yeah.
Can you talk about the ramifications for that area? Was it populated? And did it affect the people who lived in and around that area?
Yeah, that is also a very good question. Thank you for asking. And yes, there are some communities, indigenous communities living down at the waterfall and the river that waterfall was feeding. And what happened was that the people that designed the dam didn't really take into account the erosion, and there was a pipeline going behind that dam as well. So once the dam broke, this pipeline broke as well, releasing a bunch of oil in the river. And then while people was struggling with, indigenous communities were struggling with COVID, they were also struggling with not being able to drink safe water, to have good food because of the fish were dead. And yeah, it was a very, very heartbreaking moment in
Okay. Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Okay. Well, Maria, that was a wonderful, wonderful talk. We all applaud you. Thank you so much. I mean,
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're such an inspiration. It makes me want to jump on the next plane and go down there, get in the mud. Well, thank you. And we hope to hear from you again very soon.